Welcome to Off the Cut, a podcast where we talk about building, making,
and answering all of your questions.
I'm Eric from Spenceley Design Co.
And I'm Zach from Zach Builds. If you have a question that you would like us to answer on air, you can send it to offthecutpodcast@gmail.com.
You can find both of us on YouTube, Instagram, and unfortunately, because we have to keep up with kids, you can find us on TikTok too.
All right, now let's get into the show.
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Off the Cut, episode 42. We're up in Canada. Today is known as Tuesday, December 6th, 2022. But here in Ohio, today is respectfully dedicated to the food of the day. And I don't know that this is a food. This is more of like a cooking accessory. Lard.
Oh, well, you know what? If you were desperate enough, you could eat it.
Yeah. I don't think that my family ever cooked with lard.
No, my family did the thing where if we ever cooked bacon, we would like save the bacon grease in like a little separate side container. And
that's fair.
Yeah, it's free butter essentially, right? It's delicious butter.
Yeah. Well, see, I live in an apartment, and so I live in my apartment under the same principles as you do with a rental car.
Right.
You drive it like a rental.
Yes, exactly.
Bacon grease, straight down the drain, man.
Oh, yeah. My girlfriend gets so mad at me for all the stuff I put down the drain. I'm like, coffee grounds, like, you know, all the little food scraps. It's like, whatever.
But it's not my problem.
I know.
Would I do that in a house? Hell no.
I probably still do it in the house, too. Actually, it's one of those things where I've done it now so much that I'm so confident that there's no problems that, like, yeah, if you dump a whole tub, it's fine. But do it with hot water, do a little soap chaser, bingo bango, you're good. You're good. No problem.
Yeah, and like once a week, throw some hot water down there, throw some ice to clean everything out.
Exactly. If there was going to be an issue, I would have already had it at this point.
Valid. Well, this is the same like people with their medical advice. They're like, well, I eat 50 steaks a day and I haven't died yet.
Yeah, I'm also one of those people too, so watch out.
Oh, I keep screwing with my volume.
Oh, yeah.
There, I think I'm good now.
Okay. I didn't even...
It was just your voice and my volume was all messed up, but it's because my computer volume was at level 1.
Oh,
and then I boosted up. Oh, that's going to be good for the podcast. I boosted up my volume mixer through microphone. It's too many things, too many wires.
So while we're on the subject of audio equipment messing up, today I'm in the middle of eating my lunch, and all of a sudden I hear the loudest effing noise I've ever heard in my entire life. And they're doing work on the apartment next to me, and they're using hammer drills to drill holes in the wall.
Oh, yeah.
So I was like, I honestly thought that they had punched a hole from the other apartment into my apartment. But I realized pretty quickly that wasn't what it was. My speakers in my office, and I have like relatively big, like 6-inch desktop speakers. They failed in some dramatic way where they just started blasting like horrible static noises at max volume.
Wow.
They were so loud and intense, I could see the diaphragm of the speaker moving back and forth. And I've never had consumer electronics fail in such a spectacular way.
I've never had that. I've had like speakers, what am I trying to say? Like give you that really loud, just like pop burst out of nowhere.
Yes. Yeah. I've had that before too. This was that, but consistently at max volume.
That's crazy. Like I've only had like a quick like boom.
Yeah.
But this was like a wah.
More of a like a aggressive static noise, like popping continuously. I thought it was a hammer drill going through concrete.
So what do you think had caused it?
I don't know. I'm honestly wondering if I should make a little YouTube video about popping them open and, you know, like seeing did like a capacitor inside of it blow up or something like that.
Were these the ones that you had made by chance?
No.
Damn it.
Yeah, I know. Nice try, Eric.
No. That's not what I'm saying.
Oh, I see.
I'm saying you make a video, and this is the title, like my DIY speakers failed.
Yeah,
or something like that.
True.
Boom, you got a video out of it.
I was thinking that I might make a video And, with the title, something along the lines of, this is why you do it. Or if you want it done right, then you do it yourself. And then I make another set of speakers.
I like it. Because you've made 2 sets of speakers, right?
Yeah, at least. Maybe even 3.
I know you've made smaller bookshelf ones, and then you made
big tower speakers.
2 sets of tower speakers, or 1?
1 set. And then I also made a portable Bluetooth speaker.
Okay, that's what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was like, I already researched all the parts. I'm like, the only thing is I have this big backlog of videos that I want to make, and it's like I kind of need the speakers to do stuff, right? So
yeah,
do I bump that project to the front of the list by moving everything else back, or do I wait like 3 months in order to get a set of functional speakers again? I don't know.
See, this is the premise behind how all of my videos get so delayed, and like the video that's coming out in January is 1.5 years old. Because this is what happens.
Yeah,
I'm like, oh my God, okay, I really need this, or like, we need a new dining table. So I dropped everything that I was doing and made a dining table.
Yeah.
The mysterious dining table that's still not out. But
allegedly, it's in the pipeline.
Yeah, but you get what I mean. It's just like, you have this list of, you're like, okay, things are going well. And then you're like, oh my gosh, I need this. Or like a sponsor needs something, or you just need something in your home. Like now you need speakers. So does the speaker jump to the front of the list?
I don't know. Like that's the thing. It's like, I have a bunch of videos in my head that I think will perform better and I'm more excited to do. Mm-hmm. So, I mean, realistically, a speaker build doesn't take that long. Probably, like 2 days in the shop, I could knock it out. So,
yeah,
maybe I will. I don't know. I also wanted to, I've got a whole bunch of computer related projects. I just ordered all the new parts to upgrade my computer. So I was thinking of doing because, I got my computer in my desk.
Yes.
I was thinking to do an updated version of that where I like rip it all out, start again, do a bunch of new cool things. So
I like that idea. I think the angle. Oh, there it is. What flavor you got going on?
That is a grapefruit bubbly.
I got the blackberry, but
nice.
Again, this is a free one.
Oh,
still playing with the house's money.
The sweetest flavor.
So as somebody who's not super computer techie,
mm-hmm.
I'm trying to think of a way of how are you going to make me super interested in the build?
That's a good question. I mean, I think you're obviously a really cool dude, so you're not really my target audience. I'm trying to get that nerd audience, right? Well, okay, so here's the angle I was thinking for that. I wanted to get like a picture of a big gaming computer on somebody's desk and be like, this is ugly. And then a photo of my desk where it's like sleek. It's not like all RGB. It doesn't look like unicorn vomit. It's just like a nice, clean walnut design. It's like, this is not ugly.
Or you do get a picture of like the big gaming desk with those stupid LEDs and all that crap that people put in there. And you just as a photo of that.
Yeah.
And then the title is, I don't understand why people do this.
I mean, it worked well for you, didn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
Dude, that title's worked so well for me that I feel like I haven't been able to get my mind out of that exact title.
You know what? I'm actually going to write that down because I think that is actually like a perfect title for that video.
It's a perfect title for any video.
Yeah. So here, while we're on the subject of titles for videos, I have a video that's performing well, and it's a title that I didn't want to put on the video.
That's how it works.
But I was writing the title out, and I was like hesitating to hit, and I wrote it all out, and I'm like, there's a save button, and I'm like, should I hit the save button? Should I not? I was like, so the title of the video is "Your Tools Are Boring."
Yes,
and it's my video about dyeing the things.
Yeah.
That has the highest
That was fun.
That has the highest click-through rate of any video I've ever done. Yeah. It's over 100,000 views now, and it's at like a 10% click-through rate.
Damn, that's super high.
It's really high, right?
See, and to be honest with you, like if you would have just said, hey, Eric, do you think this is a good title? I'd have been like,
yeah,
you could try it, but
I know,
I don't know.
And that's kind of how I felt too. I was there, like ready to save. I was like, "Is this too aggressive? Like, it feels like a a-hole-ish title."
That's what you need.
I think that's what you need, right? So just a little insight for all our listeners out there. Sometimes the most effective title is the one that you're like, I don't know about this one. Okay, sometimes you have to go against your instincts.
I noticed because every once in a while, I like to just keep up with how you're doing. And so I'll go through and look at your stuff. I noticed that you've taken a play out of my
100%.
strategy book. Has it been working as far as just stupid ass titles and random thumbnails?
I don't know yet, to be honest. I haven't. Yeah. I really only did it. I think I did it on Thursday night last week. So you know how the whatchamacallit thing needs a little bit of time to process?
At least a week, usually.
At least a week. So I haven't got any conclusive results yet. But I'm curious to see. Nothing's exploded out of nowhere. So we'll see. But it's gonna take some messing around.
Oh yeah, no doubt. My strategy now is, I told you I spent 2 weeks before Thanksgiving going through every single video and did A/B testing on it. Mm-hmm. Now what I do is once the A/B test has finished, I write whatever that video is in an Excel sheet and be like, okay, whatever, Craig Workbench finished December 6th, and then what I can do is, 1-2 weeks later, I can go back and I can be like, okay, this finished December 6th. Has it made upward trajectory since December 6th? Mm-hmm. If yes, I'll probably leave it.
Yeah.
If no, then I'll start another A/B test and then I'll delete that off my list. So instead of trying to go navigate 100 and some videos, I just have a smaller subset of the ones I know that I can change or not change.
Yes, I think I see what you're saying. Yeah. I'm having a hard time now because a lot of them I went through and I did what you said to do, which was the old thumbnail and title combination wasn't really working in the past, I just got rid of it and I put a new one in place. And then I also A/B tested that against a different one. But now I'm looking at those results and I'm wondering, does the data from the old previous thumbnail hurt or count towards I'm trying to the A version? Does the history of the video up to that point count against the A version? Or does it start start recording fresh data as soon as you start the test?
I wish I knew.
Yeah, and I don't know either, and there's not really any insight into it in the app. So
no, yeah. It's one of those things that I've had videos that were dead. I mean, talking 1 to 2 views a month. Mm-hmm. That's dead on YouTube.
Yeah.
And I just changed the title and thumbnail, and now it's literally going straight up, and I'm getting 25,000 views a day on the video.
Wow. Was it an old? Did it take a while for it to start? Was there a little bit of gathering momentum, or was it flipping a light switch?
Maybe a week or two.
Okay, so there is a little bit of because that week or two time makes it so hard to know. You change the thumbnail, you're like, is this working? I don't know if this is working. There's a lot of room for self-doubt in that 1 to 2 weeks, right?
I think what I've learned through this entire experience is to not be afraid to try something.
Yeah, that's good advice. I mean, I was afraid to try that title. This, your tools are boring, right?
And that's blowing up.
Yeah.
And that's awesome, man. I'm glad.
Yeah, so fingers crossed that video does well. We'll see.
Well, speaking of things getting blown up, our Patreon inbox blew up this week, man.
Oh.
Yeah. So, we got a new Rigid fan.
Oh, boy.
Santiago Osorio. And I'm sure I'm murdering that pronunciation.
That's what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm. And we have 2 new apprentices. One I've been chatting with on Instagram a little bit.
Nice.
And that's Ryan Nichols at Grayport Woodco.
Okay.
And our other apprentice is Jacob Dinwiddle. I'm sure I'm mispronouncing everyone's name.
Mm-hmm. Is that a brand name or is that a last name? Because I'm just picturing whittling woodworking. You know what I mean?
Dinwiddle. No, Dinwiddle.
Yeah.
Whittle.
Yeah, Whittle.
I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe it's like the name for like a Swedish wood whittler.
That's what, yeah,
You know,
potentially.
In Sweden, they call it din whittling. You know? I don't know. And then we've got another cocker that wants to join us.
My God.
And
Wow, it was a busy week. I feel bad for not checking the Patreon. Jeez.
Yeah. For everybody, Zach never looks at the Patreon. I try to be in there.
In my defense, for all the patrons
you're gonna throw
out
me
there,
under the bus.
Yeah, I'm gonna throw you under the bus. To log into the Patreon, there's a 2-factor authentication thing, and it goes to Eric's phone. So the only way I can log in is if I arrange with Eric to have him send me the code.
Right. Yeah. That's the problem that I never foresaw when
you're sharing accounts. It's tough.
When you share an account with somebody, because like, you know me, I go to these random password generators and they're like 36 character long random passwords.
So which is great, which I'm all in favor of that because it's like good security. Yeah.
But then if you have the 2-factor authentication, like, you don't live anywhere near me. Like, You don't have the same phone number as me, so I'm going to get this stuff. And usually if I do get it, I'll like send it to you. But I don't think I've gotten one in a while.
Yeah, but the thing is, like, what are the chances you're looking at your phone in that like 30-second window that the thing needs? So
right. I mean, if I'm not on OnlyFans, I'm not going to be on my phone.
Exactly. You know what I do love about those random security passwords, though? The random character passwords. Even if somebody kidnapped me and they're like, "What's the password to the Patreon?" or "I'm going to blow out your brains," I'd be like, "I don't know. You can't even get the information out of me." It's the ultimate.
Well, or they'd be like, "What is the password for your Patreon account?"
Yeah, and I'd be like, "I don't even know."
Be like, "I have no freaking idea." Eric's got a 36 letter random generator.
Exactly.
It's not like password 1, 2, 3.
Exactly. It's the highest security. They should do this in like, all the spec ops and CIA operatives.
Right.
Yeah. We've cracked the code, the ultimate security code.
But so that brings our list of cockers to Jason Price, Derek Jennings, Corey Duvall, Scott Eastman at EC's Woodshop, and our top tier power cocker. It's the power cocker formerly known as Wes.
I forgot he changed his name.
Yeah, that gets me every time. I enjoy it.
That gets me too.
So those are people, every time you sign up for our Patreon, you get access to the after show, a bunch of other cool stuff. You get shirts, you get to hang out with us, all kinds of cool stuff. You get the Discord community thing.
Yeah. The Discord's been a lot of fun lately. People are recommending me some good videos in there. I think it was Brock sent me a DIY perks video that was very pertinent to something that I'm doing soon. So
nice.
Yeah. It's
a cool
nice
community.
It's a nice little space.
But if you want to join that, not a hard sell here, patreon.com/offthecutpodcast. It's in the description. You basically get double your podcasting pleasure.
Yeah.
And we're more uncensored over there too.
It's theoretically it's double, but occasionally we do forget to hit record on the after show. So
wait, hold on. We didn't forget to hit record.
That's true.
Mark did.
Yes. Very important.
And that's why we're now working on 2 recording apps.
Yeah.
At the same time. So.
We have a level of redundancy built into our system now. So fingers crossed that never happens again. That's one of those things. It's like when you're doing anything in life, you are bound to
You're going to mess up.
You're going to mess up. You're bound to make mistakes. And it's important to look at each one of those mistakes like a learning opportunity and to find a way to prevent it from happening again. Happens all the time in woodworking, happens all the time in content creation, and now it happens all the time in podcasting, right? Like
hopefully only once.
But I think we have a pretty, knock on wood, we have a pretty foolproof system now where even if somebody forgets to hit record, we should still have a backup recording of it.
Yeah, as long as everything goes to plan.
Yeah. Well,
and we don't mess up.
But then if we do mess up, then we'll, just add that. We'll find out a solution for how we messed up that time, and we'll just keep iterating on it until we have a foolproof system.
We'll record on 3 apps.
Exactly. And locally on 3 different devices.
So I'm trying to pull up. I got a voice memo.
Oh, nice.
And for whatever reason, I can't pull it up.
Uh-oh.
Maybe I'll just keep screwing around with this while we're...
Should we tease our guests coming up in the new year?
Oh, yeah, go for it while I try to do this.
Oh, fuck, I wasn't ready for that.
Okay, well, hold on. I'll do that then.
I'm bad with names.
Okay, so we got a lot of recommendations, and it's somebody who I've chatted a little bit with in the past.
Yes.
I did a cameo on one of his newest videos, and he's a new upcoming creator that's starting to, pull in some steam.
Oh, yeah,
so,
he's making waves.
Yeah,
I was looking at his channels. He's doing great.
Yeah. We had a couple people recommend that they wanted us to invite him on the show. So we're going to have Drew Witt from Witworks on. We're going to wait till after the new year just because holidays are weird for everybody. Yeah. But it'll be middle of January. He's going to be on the show.
Nice. Yeah, January 10th, did we say? I don't know.
I think so. Sounds about right.
Also, Craig just shouted explicit in the live chat. So I think one of us might have sworn unintentionally and neither of us noticed.
It's probably me where I was trying to pull up the the voice memo thing. I don't know why this is so challenging. But the other thing I wanted to talk about why I try to bring this up, and if I start saying weird stuff because I'm trying to talk and look at my phone at the same time, stop me.
Okay. I'll do my best.
A lot of people have asked us for specific creators to be on our show.
Oh.
The truth of it is a lot of times it's just really hard to connect with people.
Yeah.
And if you have a super, super tiny show, sometimes it might be challenging to get these people on the show.
Right.
But with that being said, we do have to say that we've seen tremendous growth. We've got 60% growth in the podcast in the last month.
Yeah. I've been blown away.
Yeah, somebody or combination of somebody's is helping us out tremendously by sharing this. So if you want us to get these bigger name people on the show, the best way for you to do that is to just share this podcast so we can get more listeners and stuff.
I mean, Eric and I do this because we have a great time doing it.
Yeah.
But it is a tough draw, sometimes to a larger creator, especially to say, hey, can you carve out 2 hours in the middle of your packed schedule to do this podcast with us? And it's not really going to be of any huge benefit to you. You know what I mean?
Right. We don't get paid for this. They don't get paid for it.
Yeah.
It's challenging.
It's challenging. So
I got the voice memo. You want to hear it?
Yes, I do. 100%.
Who do you think this oh my God. Who do you think this came from?
I'm going to say, let's say Corey.
You're wrong.
Oh.
Mark Alms.
Oh, okay.
He's our go-to voice memo guy.
He's got a great voice.
All right. Volume on. I hope my phone doesn't die while I play this. So let's go get after it.
Hey guys, Mark Alms here calling in again. Got a question for you as we round out the year. Being brutally honest with yourselves, how do you feel like 2022 treated you guys on the business side of things? What are you happy with? What do you wish went better? Maybe didn't live up to the expectations. And, looking back on the year, what did you absolutely love? How it went? Okay. So just looking for some perspective, what you guys think your year was like. Yeah. Thanks, guys. See ya.
That's a good question.
Do you want to hit it first?
Yeah, I mean, I think overall the year went really well. I honestly... any complaints I have about how things went would be nitpicking to a large degree. I don't know. I think all my socials have been performing well. Instagram, man, probably not. But
Instagram's dead for everyone.
Yeah, exactly. But YouTube has been great. I think I probably doubled the size of my channel on YouTube.
Yeah.
I've hit and exceeded all my revenue targets for the year.
That's awesome, man.
Yeah, it's not like I'm going to retire tomorrow money, but it's this is becoming a viable business kind of money.
Yeah.
And I've gotten to do, it's just crazy the amount of doors that get opened up to you if you do a YouTube channel for a while, right? Like you can just email people and I don't know, call people, and there's a certain level of opportunity that it really affords you, which is not something that I'm used to, and I'm still hugely appreciative for it. So it's been that part's been really exciting. It's obviously a lot of ups and downs. Like,
yeah.
There are things that I wish I didn't do. It's so hard to know which videos are going to perform well at the outset, right? So there are projects that I invested way too much time in that became videos that didn't do anything. It's like, oh man, in that amount of time,
NFT
I could have
table.
Exactly. Yeah. Like I spent like 2 or 3 weeks building that, let alone editing it and everything. It's like I could have done like 5 other projects in that time.
Right.
If I had like used my time a little bit more effectively. But that's life. You take gambles, they don't all pay off. Like
no.
So yeah, it's been good. I've there's been ups and downs, but again, you just got to power through the downs and try and get to the ups, right?
Yeah. So how have you felt, like, take like content creation aside?
Mm-hmm.
How have you felt that like your overall like maker ability, woodworking skill, designing, creating things has progressed over the last year?
I mean, I started the year a hack. I'm still a hack at the end of the year. So,
hey, the Hack Brothers.
No, I think it's interesting. I found a new passion for the CNC, which I think has been a pretty reoccurring theme on my channel throughout the year. Just the ability to really design things like down to the fraction of a millimeter. It's opened up all sorts of new worlds for me. So I'm really appreciating that aspect of things. And I feel like I've developed so much, the first little retro game console thing I made, it was really basic at the end of the day. And I've tried to step it up consistently with each iteration from there. And I feel like my ability to kind of model things in 3 dimensions in my head and then translate that into an actual physical object has gotten a lot better throughout the year. So I'm really, really quite pleased with that.
Yeah. So what do you like building wise? What most excites you, or are you thinking about, man, I really want to do this next year. Here's something I want to try building, like joinery, a certain project, anything like that?
One thing that I would really like to, again, going back to the CNC, one thing that I would really like to try in the new year is potentially working with some metals on the CNC, like carbon copper and aluminum pieces.
Yeah.
I'd also like to learn TIG welding. So like welding aluminum potentially. More precision stuff like that. I'd like to try working with some acrylics and, different materials like that. I see myself actually, who knows what 2023 holds, but I see myself getting a little bit more away from furniture and a little bit more into just kind of making neat stuff. That makes sense.
Yeah. I mean, also at the end of the day, you can only put so much furniture in your home.
Right.
And let's be real. You and I are doing this. We enjoy doing it. It's fun. But it is a business.
Yeah.
And if I have one project video thing I'm building or whatnot that's going to take 2 days and another one that's going to take me a month, I'm hard pressed to hit on that one that's going to take me a month because the financial gain on that amount of time spent on something, it's really hard to justify it.
Exactly. The only way I'm going to be doing any like more month-long projects is like with the NFT table, where I don't really understand how long it's going to take at the start of the project.
Right. Or if it's 100% just like a huge passion play.
That's true. That's true. I could definitely see myself doing something like that. Yeah, it's interesting. I've been having fun doing. I have another video coming out probably this weekend. It's like another kind of like tool. It's just like messing around with tools.
Okay.
And I've been enjoying making those videos. One, because they don't take me that long to make. You know, it's like an afternoon in the shop with a screwdriver, kind of messing around with them, right? And so it's interesting. I'm curious to see if those will have a bigger role in my channel in the future. Because for the past year, I've been focusing head down so much on doing build videos, which are very labor intensive to create, and they don't always perform that well.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm curious to see if, exploring power tools is there's a little bit more of I can make slightly easier videos and still, make them interesting and entertaining for people.
I think that's kind of where I see myself navigating some waters next year, is a blend of not everything has to be a build video. Like try to get some of these, quote unquote, talking head videos and just play with them and see how they perform.
Yeah.
Will they have a building component inside of them? Perhaps.
Yeah.
But like, for example, the video I've been talking about that I finally got around to recording today was the Don't Buy Milwaukee Tools video, where I basically just talk about how the brand of tools is completely irrelevant.
I'm curious to see that. I'd like to see that for sure.
Yeah. And so how long did that take me to record? Well, it took me a little, like an hour or so to write the script and get everything that I wanted. Maybe an hour to record it, a couple hours to edit it. But all in all, from beginning to end, finished the entire video in one day.
Mm-hmm. That's crazy.
As opposed to, a build video where it's like, I'm going to take a day or two planning what I just want to even build and design it. And I still want to do both, but I don't foresee myself just always and only doing build videos.
Yeah, I kind of see my future as like maybe 1-in-1.
Yeah.
And then that way you can keep up a more manageable cadence where you're posting like twice a month, like once every 2 weeks or whatever.
Yeah.
Just like alternating back and forth between talking head video and build video. But that's kind of, I need to find a format for talking head videos that actually performs well on the channel.
And it's just experimenting.
Exactly. It's just experimenting. Sorry, go ahead.
No, you go.
One other thing I wanted to kind of explore a little bit in the new year is sharing some of my opinions a little bit more about the industry and things in general. Like I have this video, I think I've talked about it on the podcast before, and the thumbnail and title idea for it is DeWalt is making a huge mistake. And it's all about how Stanley Black & Decker doesn't allow you to use batteries of different platform, like within their ecosystem. You can't use Craftsman batteries with DeWalt tools. And I kind of personally think that's a little bit of a strategic mistake. I think it's not like customer friendly. So I would like to kind of make some videos in that direction, expressing, how I think the industry can do a little bit better.
I like that idea. My biggest struggle with like talking head topical videos is I don't like to watch myself talk. And so like if I have like even like a 5-second clip, I'm like, oh my God, I need B-roll. I can't stand to watch myself. But if I watch if I watch one of your videos, because it's not me, you could have a 20-second clip of you just talking to the camera and I wouldn't think anything of it.
I still have that same impulse with you. I try and throw as much B-roll as I possibly can, but that can kind of be fun. Like I'm having a little bit of fun right now. Like the latest video I did is a little bit heavier on graphics and like text on screen and stuff like that. And I just, I throw away to images a lot of time. I'm like, oh, here's a picture of like what my first car looked like, because it kind of relates to the topic. So just little stuff like that. And the other thing that really helps from making me feel better about just having long clips of me talking is the A camera, B camera system, where you have two cameras set up and you can just cut from one to the other. And not only does it help to like cover your pauses and your ums and your ahs and stuff like that, but it just keeps things feeling a little bit more dynamic.
Yeah. The other thing I struggle with the talking head videos is sometimes I just don't feel like the video, like I'm like, oh, I could talk, like, I don't know, make something up. I could talk about tips and tricks with pocket holes. Like I'm really not that excited to talk about that.
Yes. Yeah.
So like,
Yeah.
I don't even like, because I'm not excited about it, it's probably not going to make a super interesting video, and then it's not going to perform well. And then I'm going to be like, oh, I should have never done this.
Yes. Yeah. 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 Well, I mean, I think that's where kind of like your passion has to play a role in dictating what you're making. And that's, that can be a little tough. That's why I am kind of weirdly passionate about like all the, I don't know. I want to almost call it like consumer advocacy or like, like that stuff is kind of important to me. So I would find it interesting to talk about some of those things in the woodworking and building space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense. I guess, oh wait, we're still on Mark's question. I just realized that.
Yeah. You still have to answer your half of how the year went for you.
So how the year went? Well, as Zach definitely, how do I say this? Eloquently stated, there were a lot of, the year started off with some big ups. Like my, Instagram, whatever, all that kind of stuff was blowing up. Mm-hmm. I was really enjoying building a bunch of stuff. I tried some new things. Things are going well, got some good sponsorships. And then the old Instagram, Facebook debacle of this summer happened where I was like, oh my gosh, this all might be over. Luckily, as everybody knows, I ended up getting it back. So that was nice. And then within the last month or two, my YouTube has just absolutely blown up. Mm-hmm. I've made some great relationships with some good sponsors, and things have honestly never looked better. Yep. So all in all, I truly view even the negative aspects. There have been some brands that I had poor partnerships with, just some business things where oh my gosh, I shouldn't have been charging so little for some things. I don't view those as negatives. I view them as growing learning lessons.
It's like what we were saying before with the podcast's audio recording issue, right?
Right.
It sucks the first time, but then you develop a system to counteract it or to work around it.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. But yeah, everything is going super well. I surpassed, almost doubled my revenue goal for the year.
Nice. Congrats.
So thanks, man. I was pretty excited about that. It's very close. If it weren't for me having to buy my own insurance, I 100% could have quit my job this year, which would have been sweet. But I have the ability to work both, so why not take the extra money? Because it's not unbelievably stressful for me to do both. So why not? Take both, right? Yeah. But it's going well. I think the thing I'm most excited for next year is, I think there's going to potentially be some big shifts in my life in a positive way. I think, things with Miranda are probably going to move on.
Nice.
In a good way. That sounds like they're breaking up, right?
She's going to be moving on to a different house.
She's going to be pursuing other opportunities. No. We're looking to get engaged. And thanks, man. Everything that goes along with that, moving out of the apartment and whatnot. So I'm excited for those potential endeavors to see what happens and see where shop, let's call it 3.0 happens, because shop 1.0 is the parking lot.
Right. Okay. Gotcha. Yes.
So excited to see where that goes. I feel like that's something that I could potentially make some content around that people would be interested, moving shops and setting up shop and I don't know.
Yeah.
It's challenging. Do I take the avenue of my channel only has potentially viral content, or do I do behind the scenes stuff on it too? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think it can be both. I think you've kind of proved at a certain level, you can have a shop moving video and it can still go viral as long as you put the right thumbnail and title on it, right?
Yeah. You make a good point. I think you'd have to make it be interesting, not just
totally.
I'm moving this. Now I'm moving that.
Yeah, but I mean, you're good at making your videos interesting. It's not like, they're always fun to watch. So I think you just take that same format and like that passion for storytelling and then just apply that to the process of moving the shop, right?
Yeah, and maybe you do like a video where you kind of show yourself moving everything out of the shop, but then the overall story arc is like, here are all the things that were really challenging in this space, and here's how this new space is going to, potentially alleviate some of those challenges or whatnot.
Yeah, here's how I'm planning where all the tools are going to go in the new shop. Here's how I packed everything away so that I can unpack it quickly and efficiently on the other side, et cetera,
The only thing about that is, do you know how big of a pain in the ass it's going to be to film as you're trying to move and pack things up?
I think, you got to do just GoPro on the wall.
It's going to be time lapse for sure.
Yeah, exactly.
Just like move the camera every 5 or 10 minutes or something. But the other, kind of in conjunction with that, I've been starting my annual purge.
Ooh.
And I basically just go through and I like genuinely take a hard look and I go, do I need this?
Yes.
And so we kind of talked about a little bit last week of all the power tools that I'm going to get rid of.
All the different battery platforms and stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
So that was the whole push for me to film that Don't Buy Milwaukee Tools video where I tell you the brand doesn't matter. I obviously needed all of those tools as visual aids. But now that the video's done, I'm just going to get rid of them all. So I think I'm going to do my classic Instagram 1 penny auction.
I like
where
it.
I throw it at a penny and just be like, anybody who wants it, it's yours. Have at it.
Nice.
Because I think that's kind of exciting for people in the community. And a lot of times people get wicked deals on stuff because I don't care. Like, if a $150 drill gets sold for $30, great. I made a couple bucks on it, and somebody out in the community is getting a wicked deal on a drill that they're going to use way more than I will.
I should really do that. I got a lot of tools I don't need.
Speaking of tools, can you see it behind me?
Oh, a Festool box. I was wondering what was in the box.
Several Festool boxes.
Yeah, your shoulder was covering the branding before. Yeah. So what do you got?
I got all kinds of stuff. They sent me 2 routers, the 1010 and the 1400. So it's like basically a palm router and then like a 2 horsepower router.
Okay.
They sent me several of their like organization bins, like you put like the screws and stuff in there.
Sure, yeah.
Like you close the top and you shake them and they don't fall all over the place.
Yeah.
Sent me a bunch of those. They sent me the something else. And then they sent me like the drill driver combo kit thing.
Nice. Right. You already had that one though, didn't you?
I do.
Okay.
But they sent me another one.
Okay. Well, maybe another 1 penny auction right there.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, maybe the old one put up as a 1 penny auction.
Yeah. Well, you could end up being like me, and I have like 20 drills and drivers.
Yeah, it wouldn't hurt. I mean, especially like when Miranda and I do projects together. It's like you don't have to be like, oh, can I have that? Oh, can I have that?
Yeah. It is definitely nice to have a couple backups, but you just don't want to have too many like I do.
I should have brought this drill in as a visual aid. The drill has like a detachable chuck on the front of it. So you can put like your 1/4-inch hex drive chuck. So it's like an impact driver. Or you can take that off. You can put a right angle chuck on it. You can take that off. You can put like a regular like metal twist Jacobs chuck on it. Or you can put this like offset one so you could put it right up to a corner. I was like, that's freaking genius.
I have that tool, but it's DeWalt. But they did it with their 12-volt line, not their
it's
20.
More like a cabinetry.
It's a cabinetry, exactly.
Yeah.
So is this like their full fat?
It's like their full size one.
Cool. Cool. I like that. If you post about it, somebody's gonna say Milwaukee did it first. So just be ready for that.
Oh, my favorite recently is when I've been posting the woodpeckers videos, and people are getting real pissed off at me about their pricing. It's like, I didn't make the price.
I don't set the price. Like, you're talking to the wrong guy.
Right.
Yeah.
It's too funny.
Yeah.
It's too funny.
People, I don't know why people get so mad at woodpeckers for the pricing. I mean, even JCats was a little bit salty with them, but I think, making high precision stuff in the United States is not cheap, right? Like,
And when I went there, I talked to some of the representatives of the brand, and I just flat out asked them about financials.
yeah,
And I can tell you that their profit margins aren't ridiculous.
yeah, yeah,
It's very reasonable.
yeah, yeah.
Like, it's not like they're making 300% margin.
Yes.
No.
Yeah, I mean, it's again, that's why I come back to, I'm sure if you outsourced it to and made it all in Vietnam or something like that, yeah, you could get production costs lower, but there's always going to be a premium to have things made in North America.
Every single thing they have there is made on site.
Yeah.
You should see the sheer number of machines that they have in there. Like laser cutters alone, I think they had 15 like massive $100,000+ laser cutters in there, running 24/7.
I did a video a little while ago for this Canadian guy who owns a company called United Clamps, and he made a T-square that he was really proud of. He gave me one. And
Was that the one with the maple leaf?
Yeah, exactly. So I made a video about it, but like people were ragging on him for the price of that. I think he posted it at $179.
And it's like a 24-inch
Yeah,
square?
24-inch T-square, and I think he made like 200 of them or something like that.
Sure.
So like very limited run. He made those overseas. Like he designed them all here in Canada.
Yeah.
And he like contracted a company overseas to make them. And even those, like I know his profit margin on those was like razor thin. Like
I'm sure.
he wasn't making a ton of money. So I don't know. People love to complain about prices, but they've just never actually gone to the lengths of creating a product to know how much really goes into it.
Right. But yeah, people are annoying. Let's see. What have you been working on this week? Anything exciting? Anything that you want to share with the people?
Not really too much. So I finished my wood Xbox project. I got that all done.
I'm excited.
I was wrapping up the tool comparison video, so I was doing the last final touches on that. I was prepping for my Christmas special, my DeWalt giveaway.
Oh, I cannot wait for this one, man.
Yeah, so I was writing a little intro today. I want to give a shout out to DeWalt on this because we went back and forth a couple times, like me explaining the concept, and then they were like, okay, so like we'd love to tie this into our winter promotions. They're doing this thing called Power of Possibilities with DeWalt, and it's basically they're just doing. At all the big box retailers, they have sales on. That's the thing. Yeah. So their only ask for me in this video was to say, they don't even want to run it as like a sponsored video. They're like, all we ask is that you say, if you like any of the tools that I'm giving away today, they're probably on sale at your local retailer.
Fair.
That was like their only ask for the entire video. And they gave me, whatever, $5,000, $6,000 worth of tools.
That's awesome, man. Yeah. Or they show up on a pallet?
No, they actually showed up like piecemeal, like one little thing at a time, which was really funny, but hey, whatever. Now, so here's the debate I'm having. Should I wrap these?
I don't know.
And also, can I run a thumbnail title combination by you?
Absolutely.
So I was thinking, do you go just like super... like, I don't know, to the point, like giving away $5,000 worth of tools.
Okay.
Or here's the alternative title I was thinking about. It's I'm sick of influencers getting free stuff.
Oh.
And then it's just me sitting on on the big pile of tools with like my head in my hands, like looking upset.
Because now you're giving free stuff.
My whole thing, I wrote the intro today, so the whole thing is it's like, look, it's 2022. Everybody's sick of watching influencers flexing online with the free stuff they got. So in this video, I'm going to flip the script and I'm going to give away tools to normal, everyday, hardworking people.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that's fantastic. I love those ideas. I think with your first thumbnail, you like build almost like a wall of the tools behind you,
okay.
and then like you're kind of like smaller
Yes.
in there, so it looks like a massive pile of tools.
Yeah.
That you're then just like kind of sitting in front of.
Okay. For the one where I'm like
for the giving away tools.
the giving away. Okay. So am I behind the tools then? I'm trying to think of how I would design
potentially this. Whatever way you can make yourself appear smaller.
Yes.
And the quantity of toolboxes larger.
I see. Okay. So we're talking wide angle lens down low, and then like me slightly in the background, so the tools are massive in frame.
Yes.
Okay. Yeah, I like that.
I like that.
Okay.
The other one, like, I'm tired of people getting free tools or whatever. I like that, like the head on the face thing.
Yeah. I was thinking like me sitting on a pile of tools, and then like, I don't know, I was debating like adding text to the, like, maybe like a bunch of price tags on all the different boxes.
Okay.
Because I know people love price tags.
So what about this?
Okay.
You have like a split screen where like on one side you're reaching like this. You're reaching to like grab this free tool, and then on the other side you have this like guy in a suit that's like handing you, and that has a price tag. It says 0, and then it says I'm sick of influencers getting free tools.
Okay, I like that. That's a good one. Man, I got so much stuff to write down.
I know.
Okay.
I thought I had something else I wanted to say, but I don't remember. I don't know.
Okay. Well, if it comes to you, it comes to you. If not, it doesn't. What are you working on? What do you got?
Well, I just finished the tools you shouldn't buy.
Yes.
Or the Don't Buy Milwaukee Tools video.
Do you have a sponsor already lined up for that, or am I going to have to wait a year before I see that?
It's probably 6-7 years before that's done.
Okay, cool.
I want to build some furniture. Actually, before that, I'm building, because I haven't really built anything in a little while, and one of my friends, a kind of older friend, like old coworker from college, reached out, and he goes, I know you're probably going to cringe when you hear this. He goes, can you build me a set of cornhole boards?
Yeah.
And I was like, sure. So I'm building a set of cornhole boards. Like, it's one of those things, like, I'm not going to film it. I just get out there, kind of cut some things up, throw it together, and it's like, this is kind of fun. Make a few bucks.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy. So I worked on that.
Sometimes it's nice to just do those simple projects. Like my friend's daughter just turned 1, and my friend's wife was asking me, like, could you just do her name in cursive script on the CNC?
Like a CNC project.
Yeah, exactly.
Sure.
Yeah, like it's okay. What, it's gonna take me like 20 minutes to do it. Maybe I'll stain it and throw a coat of finish on it, and then it'll be a nice little thing that she'll have for the rest of her life.
It's not like you're gonna have to sand it, do the whole sanding progression. Like, if it's decent enough, that's all they care about.
Exactly. Yeah, I haven't been in the shop in a while to just do something for fun. For me, for not filming reasons.
Yeah. So I'm doing that. I'm going through, again, I'm purging all these tools. Honestly, that's exciting to me, to like go through and get rid of all this stuff, declutter, and then I can like, I should reorganize it like this.
Yeah.
But then I'm like, well, that would be really nice if I had this thing right here, like a fold down workbench. And then I'm like, a year later, now something else is clutter. It's a cycle of like, you get rid of stuff, you bring new stuff in, and then you get rid of stuff and bring new stuff in. It's just a constant churning.
Sophie and I used to do a like Boxing Day throw everything out day. So not just in the shop, but we'd like empty out all the closets and like just literally like hold stuff up. Do we need this? No. Okay. Donation bin.
That is the most exhilarating thing for me.
I know, I really enjoy it too. You feel lighter when you're done.
Oh yeah.
You're like, my life is so much more simplified.
Yeah. And especially, get a 6-pack of beer while you're doing it.
Yeah, that sounds like a good time.
So we do a similar thing. We call them clean and cocktail night.
I know you've told me this before, and I told Sophie about that. I was like, I think we should start doing this.
Have you tried it yet?
No, we haven't tried it yet, but it's definitely. I mean, maybe when we do the Purge, we'll do.
Yeah.
We'll play the air raid siren from the Purge. We'll have a cocktail, and then we'll start getting rid of stuff.
If you get like 2 or 3 cocktails in you, you'll like go in the other room, and she'll be like suction cup to the ceiling with Q-tips and be like, I noticed there was dirt up here. I had to get it.
Yeah, and the thing about having a couple of cocktails while you do it too is you just don't care as much. Like you're like, yeah, get rid of it, fuck it, throw it out. Oh, there's the explicit, but we already had the explicit.
Oh yeah,
so,
we already have one in there.
Yeah, it just makes things a little bit easier.
Maybe I can convince her that we can do that again before Christmas or something.
Yeah. You gonna do anything for Christmas? You gonna have like the family over to your place, or you go to your parents?
No, we always go to my parents, and then we're gonna go to Miranda's family probably on like Saturday of Christmas. I don't even know what day Christmas is on.
Okay.
It's really challenging to get everyone's schedules to line up, so we typically end up doing 2 things.
Yes. Yeah.
And I don't know.
Yeah.
Nothing crazy.
Nice.
I don't think I have any huge holiday plans. Not going anywhere. Or I'm going to like a friend's. Like we're all kind of getting together, like renting a cabin because one of our friends is moving to Texas. So like we're doing like a long weekend to hang out with her and stuff. We're doing that in January, but
Sweet.
Other than that, I don't think I got any big plans. Oh, we're going to see Dave Chappelle on New Year's Eve. That'll be fun.
He lives near you, right? Like
he lives about 45 minutes away.
Okay. So are you going to like I think he has like a theater or something, does he not?
So he has a place called Yellow Springs, which is just on. So I'm like the northeast part of Columbus, and Yellow Springs is like the west side of Columbus, but out a little further. So he has this thing that he does that he never really announces, and it sells out like instantly, called Chappelle and Friends.
Okay.
Where he'll do like comedy shows, or he'll have like big musicians just come and like play a set before a comedy show. And these things sell out in like a couple minutes, and you never know where they're going to be. So when we found out he was going to do the New Year's Eve show, we were pumped.
Yeah, that's awesome. Chappelle's show back in the day, that was like my favorite sketch comedy. I mean, I haven't rewatched it in a long time, but might very well be my favorite sketch comedy show of all time.
I hate to say it, I don't think I've ever seen it.
You haven't seen it, really?
I know of it, and I've probably seen just like a couple clips here and there. The same way I've seen like Key and Peele.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen like the Aaron, Jake
Quellen.
Yeah. Like I've seen a couple of those like signature skits.
Yeah, like the fuck your
but
couch.
I've never.
I'm Rick James, bitch.
Right. I've seen that one.
Yeah.
But I've never like sat down and been like, oh, season 1, season 2, season 3, or whatever.
Yeah, it's worth doing. Same thing with Key and Peele, honestly.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know. I've got a soft spot in my heart for sketch comedy. I love those shows. So, yeah.
Hot take on a sketch comedy that a lot of people just rave about how great it is.
Oh.
But I think it's crap.
Okay.
Portlandia.
I tried to watch. I was getting Portlandia and Broad City mixed up. I like Broad City, but Portlandia, I'm there with you. I didn't like it at all.
It was like, and I'm all for weird shows.
Yeah.
Like kind of quirky, offbeat shows. But Portlandia, I was just like,
too weird. Too weird. I don't know. Maybe this is not a good recommendation, but I Think You Should Leave with Tim Robinson. I think that's the guy's name. It's called I Think You Should Leave. It's on Netflix.
That sounds really familiar. Tell me about it.
He was an SNL writer, and basically he just saved up all the skits that they wouldn't let him do on SNL. They're like, no, that's too weird. Or like that's dumb. People won't laugh at that. So he took all of those and he made his own show with them. And I think it's some of the best comedy.
I have seen several of these.
Yeah, sometimes they're floating around on the internet like memes and stuff.
I think maybe we watched like season 1.
Right.
And then had just kind of stopped watching it just because it didn't come back up.
Yeah. There was a big gap between season 1 and season 2. I enjoy it.
That's one of my issues with Netflix is I put everything in my queue. So like,
I don't even use the queue.
No.
Yeah. I don't.
Okay.
I don't use it at all. I'm pure recommendations.
So like Stranger Things, right? I will watch that, but I put it in my queue so I don't forget about it because like a new season came out, but I'm like not ready to watch it yet.
Yeah.
So I put it in the queue. But then once let's just hypothetically say whatever, season 4 they're on now. I finished season 4. And then I remove it from the queue. But then sometimes it doesn't tell me
season
when
5.
season 5 is out. You know, it's challenging.
Yeah, it is very challenging. Here's a little tip. You might already do this, but Sophie and I both have separate Netflix accounts, and then we also have a joint one too.
Oh, we don't have a joint one.
So it makes different recommendations based on who's watching. So, if I'm watching, I want to watch a car show or a horror movie or something like that, I get recommendations. She gets her rom-com recommendations, but then the joint account has like this weird intersection of both our passions. So it's good little.
I like that.
Good thing to do.
I might have to enact that tip. The other Netflix, I want to ask you if you've ever used this feature. Do you ever rate the things that you watch?
Never.
So just, we already hit explicit. Just for shits and giggles.
Yeah.
I've started doing that to see if my recommendations have been better. It seems about the same. They still recommend a lot of garbage.
So I think Netflix, and this is pure speculation on my part, does what YouTube does, where they know that the most powerful signal you can send them about a show is that you watch it start to finish.
Yes.
That's like way more important than a like or anything like that. And I think probably their predictive engine is probably based much more heavily on just your viewing habits. Like, did you watch it for 5 minutes and then turn it off? Okay, you probably didn't like it, so let's not show you any of that.
Valid point. I think you're probably right.
So I don't know that you liking and disliking really gives them much more information than they already had. So that's probably why the recommendations haven't improved that much.
Do you think it's like the like-dislike button on YouTube?
Yeah, like it's the I like dislike button. I think that's just there for fun. Like, well, for the aforementioned shits and giggles.
Or for that person that's just like, man, that guy has no idea what he's talking about. Yeah. I'm going to hit the thumbs down. I'm going to show him.
Yeah. It's to give angry people like an outlet.
Same with the comment section.
Yeah, definitely. There's a word for it. You know how we always talk about the Veblen goods or whatever, like goods that get more. There's also a word for switches and buttons that don't do anything, but they make it make it feel like people feel like they're doing something.
Like the crosswalk.
The crosswalk ones that are like not hooked up to anything.
Term. What's the term for it? Button switch. This is going to take too long to find. Term.
But okay, so here, while you're looking that up, I'll kind of explain the concept. The idea is that you pacify people by giving them a button that they can press so that they can feel like they're doing something while they're waiting for the machine to just do what it automatically does anyways.
A illusion of control.
Okay.
Or I thought there was placebo button.
I thought there was a person's name attached to it, but maybe I just made that up.
A Ellen Langer.
Oh. Okay, I'm going to say that from now on because that sounds smart. An Ellen Langer button.
So the classic explanation or example of these Ellen Langer buttons are the crosswalk buttons.
Yes. Yeah. That's where I first learned about it. I'm convinced I've been in some elevators too where the door close button is an Ellen Langer button.
It says the door buttons on most public transit, which I assumed you could probably put a elevator in that too.
Yeah.
Office thermostats.
Oh, yeah, true.
Oh, and it does say elevator close buttons is number 5 on there.
Yes. I knew it. I knew it.
I dig it.
I once heard a rumor that if you press the elevator close door button and the floor you wanted to go to at the same time, that you would skip directly to that floor, meaning it wouldn't stop at any other floor to pick additional people up on the way.
Oh, dude, we have to try this at Workbench Con.
Yeah, we definitely do. I used to try it in my university all the time. And I don't think I ever had one instance where it stopped to pick somebody else up when I did that. But yeah.
This is a late night thing. We're going to have some drinks and we're going to test it. Like, I'll go to floor 3.
Yeah.
And I will try to request the elevator. Oh. And then you see if you can bypass me.
Yeah. Okay, that's great. That's how we're gonna put it to rest once and for all.
Yeah. Well, I think we hit an hour.
Yeah.
What do you say we put the main show to rest, head over the after show?
Sounds good to me, buddy.
All right, everybody. Thank you so much for listening. We got a boatload of questions. These are going to be some juicy ones. Holy shit.
Oh.
This one is half a page. Oh my God.
Well,
okay.
That'll be the first one we do.
All right. We got a lot of questions we're going to add in the after show. So if you want to join us over there, go to patreon.com. Patreon. I just had a stroke.
That's okay. It's okay.
Patreon.com/offthecutpodcast. And we will see you over there, or we'll see you next week.
Sure will. See you, everybody.
See ya.